Parents, quick question. Have you ever noticed how your children can be total angels one morning and absolute chaos the next? Picture this. Monday morning, you ask your child to put on their shoes before breakfast, and they do it. It's smooth, easy, and you think, great, we got this. Tuesday morning, you make the same request, but suddenly it's a battle of whining, stomping, I don't want to. Wednesday rolls around, maybe they listen, maybe they don't, and you're left thinking, wait, didn't I just say this yesterday? What's going on? The truth behind this chaos might surprise you, and the solution is simpler than you think. We'll circle back in a few moments. Welcome back to Little Feet, Big Guidance. I'm the Nurture Navigator, your friendly guide through the ups and downs and surprises of parenting little ones. This is your space to breathe, reflect, and get practical parenting tools grounded in faith, science, and love. I'm not a parent myself, but I've spent years as a teacher studying behavior and walking alongside families. I've seen what works, what doesn't, and what really makes a difference when it comes to shaping little hearts. In this podcast, I bring insights from trusted voices, such as Ellen G. White's timeless wisdom, Dr. Bruce Perry's groundbreaking neuroscience, and Marshall Rosenberg's compassionate communication principles. All of that with biblical truth, so you have a clear, reliable path to raise children who are confident, empathetic, and secure. You ready? Okay, so here's a challenge we all face: inconsistency. Children get confused when our rules sometimes apply and sometimes don't. One day a behavior is fine, the next day it's suddenly unacceptable. Children start testing limits, acting out, or even feeling anxious because they never really know what to expect. Proverbs 29:18 says, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." Basically, children need clarity to thrive. And Ellen G. White reminds us, she really supports this. She says, children require consistent instruction and steady guidance. This is the work of wise and loving parents. So when we're inconsistent, it's not just frustrating. No, it's actually training your child to test boundaries. They're learning which responses are reliable and which aren't. That's why consistency isn't just nice. It's the secret ingredient to trust, security, and internalized discipline. Think of consistency like watering a plant. If you water it regularly, it grows strong roots. If you skip days, change the water sometimes, or forget it altogether, guess what? Confusion and stress grow instead. Isn't that right? Dr. Bruce Perry reminds us that children's brains thrive on rhythm and predictability, and consistent responses trigger the lower brain. That's the survival brain, which reacts with stress, anxiety, or defiance. You remember this. But calm, predictable guidance activates the higher brain, the one responsible for reasoning, empathy, and self-control. That's where learning actually sticks. That's the one we want. Marshall Rosenberg adds a great point. Listen to this, parents. He says, consistency isn't just repeating rules, it's repeating connection. Every calm, predictable response says to your child, I see you, I hear you, I love you, even when I set limits. Over time, kids internalize not just the rules, but the feeling of being valued and understood. That's when cooperation, self-regulation, and emotional security really take root. All right, let's get real for a minute. We've talked in a previous episode before, the one about boundaries that bring peace, about limits. Limits are essential. They tell your child what's safe, what's expected, and what's unacceptable. But here's the truth. Limits alone don't change behavior. One rule today, a different reaction tomorrow, that's like giving a plant sunlight one day and darkness the next. The message doesn't stick. It's confusing. The behavior doesn't stick. And over time, your boundaries feel optional. Consistency is a layer that foolproofs your boundaries. Think of limits as the frame of a house. Consistency is that mortar holding it together. Without it, your child might know the boundary, maybe, but they can't trust it. So they keep testing it. When you actually respond the same way every single time, your child learns what to expect. They feel safe knowing you're predictable, and they start to internalize the rule instead of just obeying to avoid your reaction. Dr. Perry says it best. Pattern repeated experiences actually wire the brain to self-regulate. Rosenberg adds that connection combined with consistency teaches kids to follow limits while feeling valued. Isn't that amazing? So the next time your child pushes a boundary, remember, it's not just about saying no. It's about showing up the same way over and over again. That repetition is what truly transforms behavior. Limits set the stage, consistency builds the house, and connection furnishes it. Without that second layer, though, boundaries may look strong, but they aren't foolproof. Okay, back to the shoe saga. Monday, easy. Tuesday, meltdown. Wednesday, maybe chaos, maybe cooperation. Here's a shift that changes everything. Predictable, calm, empathetic responses. When? Every single time. So, the next time your child hesitates putting on their shoes, this is what you'll do. You're going to kneel down, take a deep breath, and say, I see you're not ready yet. Shoes go on before breakfast, and you can choose the blue or the black pair. Let's do this together. Your boundary is firm, your expectation is clear, and your connection stays strong. Over time, your child begins to anticipate the routine, and they'll start to respond predictably, and they'll even start helping without reminders. Whoa! That's the real magic of consistency. Are you ready for your challenge of the week? All right. So you can choose one from the past to reinforce, or maybe there's a new one that's been giving you trouble, but you're going to pick one daily routine to be fully consistent. It could be bedtime, cleanup, screen time, even church time. We need a lot of boundaries there and consistency, don't we? You're going to decide exactly how you're going to respond every single time in that scenario. And you'll apply it calmly, predictably, and lovingly, even when you're being tested. And you'll observe how your child's cooperation, trust, and self-discipline shifts over the week. Yay! Even small, steady actions create big change, parents. And the best part? It gets easier the more you practice. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today. If this episode gave you even one teeny tiny little aha moment, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next step in our parenting journey. It also really helps the channel if you subscribe and share with a friend of yours. Next week, we're going to dive into episode 6, Discipline Without Yelling. We're going to learn how calm, firm, and connected guidance transforms challenging moments without raising your voice. Isn't that nice? Remember, Parenting isn't about perfection. It's about showing up, staying connected, and guiding little hearts, one little footstep at a time. And yes, if those little feet tiptoe past a spilled cereal bowl tonight, that's just part of the adventure.